Caterina Sforza, the tigress of Forli. In a time when men relegated women to the sidelines, Caterina Sforza refused to let anyone silence her. Well-educated and descended from a line of powerful leaders, she wielded her wit, intellect, and determination like weapons. Beauty was her mask, power her language, and vengeance her creed. Behind her alluring charm and aristocratic grace hid something far more dangerous, an unyielding will and a taste for retribution. Life never offered Caterina Sforza any favors. From the moment she entered the world, she carried a mask of disadvantage. Her father, Galeazzo Maria Sforza, Duke of Milan, was one of the most powerful men in Italy. Her mother, Lucrezia Landriani, was not his wife, but his mistress. As Galeazzo's illegitimate daughter, Caterina may have inherited the blood of Milanese nobility, but her future rested entirely on her father's whims. Thankfully, her father was not a man to abandon his own blood. When his father died, elevating Galeazzo to dukedom, he brought his children by Lucrezia, Caterina, and her siblings into court. For the first time, the illegitimate Sforza children stepped into a world of glittering luxury and hidden danger. But this world came with enemies, and for young Caterina, they were women. Galeazzo married Dorothea Gonzaga the same year he became Duke of Milan. During this time, his mother, Bianca Maria Visconti, cared for the children of his mistress, Dorothea, however, had little time to object to her husband's existing brood. She succumbed to illness shortly after the marriage. Some claim she died before the vows were even exchanged. Others said it happened soon afterwards. Either way, Dorothea was swiftly replaced. Galeazzo's second wife, Bona of Savoy, entered the picture May 9, 1458, and, surprisingly, adopted Galeazzo's illegitimate children as her own. With this, Caterina was legitimized, unlocking a future few women of her status could ever dream of. She received a thorough humanist education, studying literature, politics, and military arts. She learned not only to read and write, but to command, a rare privilege for a woman of her time. Caterina's childhood shaped her destiny. She understood that in a world of men, intelligence and performance were her only armor. Yet no amount of brilliance could shield her from the one inevitable fate all noble women faced: marriage. Despite her fiery intellect and independence, Caterina was still a pawn in her family's political game. At only 10 years old, she was betrothed to Girolamo Riario, a man 20 years her senior, and the nephew of powerful Pope Sextus IV. The arrangement was political gold, binding Milan to Rome. But the story behind their marriage was as disturbing as it was strategic. Girolamo had originally been engaged to Caterina's cousin, Costanza, who was only 11. Costanza's mother wanted her to reach the legal age of 14 before consummation. According to rumor, the Sforza family offered Caterina instead, perhaps because she, or those around her, were less inclined to wait. Whether this was slander or truth remains unclear, but by 14, Caterina was wed to one of the most powerful men in Italy. For better or for worse, Caterina made the most of it. Upon marrying Girolamo, she entered a new life of splendor and intrigue, moving between the courts of Milan and Rome. Rome was a city of decadence, ambition, and danger. Girolamo, as Lord of Imola and papal favorite, enjoyed immense power. Caterina, though young, quickly learned to thrive within this volatile environment. Her husband wanted her silent, ornamental, a decorative emblem of his power. But Caterina had other ideas. Her charisma, education, and natural magnetism made her impossible to ignore. She became a fixture in Roman society, admired for her wit, elegance, and striking beauty. Even the Pope himself was rumored to be captivated by her. In 1479, she gave birth to her first child, Ottaviano, and over the next decade, she bore 5 more. Yet her life as a mother offered no rest. The world around her shifted violently, and when her greatest protector, Pope Sextus IV, died in 1484, everything she and Girolamo had built began to collapse. Rome erupted in chaos. Riots broke out, fires raged, and looters prowled through the city. Heavily pregnant, Caterina refused to flee. Instead, she mounted her horse, crossed the dangerous waters of the Tiber, and seized control of Castel Sant'Angelo, Rome's ultimate fortress and papal stronghold. From its ramparts, she commanded the Vatican's defenses, refusing entry to anyone she did not trust. Cardinals begged her to leave, but Caterina would not move. The conclave to elect a new pope could not proceed until she released the fortress. Desperate, the cardinals turned to her husband, assuming that, as a man, he could control his wife. He could not. Caterina only tightened her grip, increasing her guards and preparing for battle. The cardinals were forced to bargain. Girolamo accepted their offer, money, titles, and safety, in exchange for peace. Caterina, furious, eventually relented, but on her own terms. She and her husband returned to Forli, unaware that darker storms were coming. The new pope, Innocent VIII, was no friend to the Riarios. He stripped Girolamo of influence and drained their finances. To maintain power, Girolamo imposed heavy taxes on the already struggling citizens of Forli. Resentment festered. By 1488, rebellion was inevitable. On a spring night, the Orsi family led a coup. Girolamo was assassinated. Caterina and her children were imprisoned, but the rebels underestimated their captive. From her cell, Caterina plotted vengeance. The Orsis held her children hostage, but one fortress still loyal to her, Ravaldino, remained untaken. Caterina cunningly asked permission to persuade its commander to surrender. The rebels, believing her, allowed her to go. Once inside Ravaldino's walls, she revealed her true colors. From the battlements, she shouted curses and vows of revenge at her captors. When the rebels threatened to kill her children, Caterina delivered one of the most shocking replies in Renaissance history. "Do it, if you wish. Hang them before my eyes. I have what's needed to make more." Whether this scandalous defiance involved an actual gesture, as legend claims, is uncertain. Some historians say she instead told them she was pregnant, ensuring her line would continue. Either way, the bluff worked. Her children were spared, her forces rallied, and she retook Forli. From captive to conqueror, Caterina Sforza rose like a phoenix from the ashes. The people of Forli, astonished by her courage, accepted her as regent for her young son Ottaviano. Though the title was his, the power was entirely hers. Many men balked at the idea of a woman ruling them. They sent Cardinal Raphael Riario, Girolamo's cousin, to supervise her. But Caterina required no oversight. In mere months, she restored order. She reduced taxes, reorganized the army, and improved defenses. Forli flourished under her iron hand. Yet peace in Renaissance Italy was fleeting. The peninsula seethed with rivalries. Milan, Naples, Florence, and the Vatican all schemed for dominance. Caterina navigated this shifting web with remarkable tact. She kept Forli neutral, befriending enemies, outwitting rivals, and preserving her independence amid chaos. By her mid-20s, Caterina was a widow of immense influence and a coveted prize. One suitor, Antonio Maria Ordelaffi, became so confident that he boasted publicly that Caterina had promised to marry him. She swiftly had him and his supporters imprisoned for a decade. No one would use her name without her consent. Yet, love found her where politics could not. Among her loyal defenders was Giacomo Feo, a young soldier of humble birth. He fought fiercely for her during the rebellion, and his devotion soon became something deeper. Against all expectation, Caterina fell in love. They married in secret. Giacomo became her partner in both passion and power, but love soon curdled into tyranny. As Giacomo's influence grew, so did his arrogance. He abused Caterina's older children and alienated her allies. Her court turned against them. Then came the final betrayal from within her own bloodline. In 1498, after a hunting trip, a group of conspirators, allegedly including some of her children, ambushed Giacomo and murdered him. Caterina's grief was volcanic. In a world where men thought women could only weep, Caterina avenged. She hunted down everyone connected to the plot. Wives, servants, even children. None were spared. Some accounts claim she executed 38 people, others far more. Caterina eventually found solace in Giovanni de' Medici o Popliano, a member of the powerful Medici family of Florence. This time, her marriage brought genuine affection. With Giovanni, she had one more child, Giovanni del Bande Nere, who would grow into one of Italy's greatest military leaders. For a brief moment, Caterina tasted peace, but fate had not finished with her. Giovanni de' Medici fell ill and died young, leaving her widowed once again. And then came her greatest adversary yet, Cesare Borgia. The ruthless son of Pope Alexander VI, Cesare marched across northern Italy with the backing of France, determined to claim Romagna, including Forli, for himself. Most rulers fled before his army. Caterina did not. She sent her children to safety and took command of Ravaldino fortress once more, just as she had a decade before. She freed her subjects from their oath of loyalty, offering them the chance to flee. Then she prepared to face Cesare's army alone. Her defiance infuriated him. He placed a 10,000 ducat bounty on her head, dead or alive. But Caterina refused to surrender. For weeks, she withstood bombardments and starvation. Her courage inspired songs and stories across Italy. Eventually, the walls fell. Caterina, ever cunning, surrendered not to Cesare, but to Antony Bisset, a French commander, knowing France forbade the execution of female prisoners of war. Cesare, however, claimed her anyway, promising to treat her as a guest. Instead, he imprisoned her in Rome. When Caterina attempted escape, she was accused of plotting to poison the Pope, a crime she was entirely capable of committing, but never proven to have done. In a final twist of fate, Cesare confined her in Castel Sant'Angelo, the same fortress she had once conquered and ruled. History had come full circle. Eventually, she was released and allowed to rejoin her children in Florence. Though Caesar's power later crumbled and her lands were offered back to her, the people of Forli no longer wanted the woman they once hailed as savior. To them, she was a relic of violence, a tigress in a changing world that preferred its women tame. Caterina Sforza died of pneumonia in 1509 at the age of 46, but her legend never died. In an age when women were expected to obey, she commanded armies. When men ruled by divine right, she ruled by sheer will. Her life was a symphony of contradictions, scholar and warrior, lover and executioner, mother and tyrant. To her enemies, she was monstrous. To history, she was magnificent. Thanks for watching History Exposé. If you love uncovering the best stories in history, hit like and subscribe to keep exploring with us. Don't forget to visit our main page, Factinate, for more incredible facts about everything.